first time Howell had trouble with the law. Court documents paint him as a violent, sadistic person with a tribal band with a Confederate flag tattoo on his left arm and a swastika tattoo on his left arm. So what they are not putting the emphasis on in this article here is that this guy is clearly... Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another video. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. Alright, so believe it or not, there was an individual who planned to kill all of the LGBTQ people in his town. All right, this individual has a violent and disturbing past, but somehow, miraculously, unlike Buffalo, law enforcement was able to intervene and stop this individual before he was able to do his plan. All right, so this is an article from LGBTQ Nation, and it says, man convicted of federal hate crime after trying to kill all of the LGBTQ plus people in his town. The guy's name is John Russell Howell. He has a violent, disturbing past, and now he's facing life in prison. So that's him right there. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those individuals that makes it a lot more difficult to survive the suburbs. All right. So now here it says a man has been convicted of federal hate crimes and firearms charges after going on a self-described quote unquote mission to kill all LGBTQ people in his town in Montana. The 46-year-old John Russell Howell fired what the Department of Justice said was an AK-style assault rifle at the home of a lesbian in his town of Basin on March 22nd of 2020. Now, this happened in 2020 and it's 2023. So what I need you guys to tell me in the comment section is, had you heard about this? And if you hadn't heard about this, we got to ask ourselves the question, why? Probably because the media is so busy making everyone think that it's only us that commits all of the crimes. The woman was not harmed, even though Howell fired multiple rounds while carrying 2 pistols and 3 rifles. And again, we got to ask ourselves, for one, why did this individual have so many guns? And also, where did he get all of these guns from? The Department of Justice said that after firing at the woman's home, Howell continued down the street, determined to kill all of the LGBTQ plus people in town. So now here's my thing, right? Let's not get it twisted here. The purpose of me doing this article is not to quote unquote cape for the LGBTQ community. The purpose of me doing this video is to show a pattern of the type of dangerous crimes that the individuals who never commit crimes ever and only build everything great in the world do. So now my question is, why do you all feel that there is a pattern of this particular kind of crime when it comes to those particular kind of individuals? They don't just go on a robbery, or they don't just go and steal a car or something like that. They go on entire extermination and genocide missions. And I think that that's something that really should be noted, and people should ask that question and discuss it. So now here it says a nearby church service had let out around the same time, and those exiting, including the pastor, tried to talk Howell down. The pastor was unknowingly recording the situation with a device he was using to capture his sermons. On the recording, Howell reportedly states that he hoped he just killed the lesbian and that he plans to get rid of the rest of the town's LGBTQ plus community. He also fired a weapon multiple times while the people tried to calm him down. Howell also refused to drop his weapons when a sheriff arrived and ordered him to do so. So right off the bat, what we have is an individual who not only had, used his weapons, had weapons, and then he also didn't follow orders, and he's living to go to his trial. You know what I'm saying? And then he also fled the scene on foot while firing again. So not only did he refuse to listen to orders, he resisted arrest as well. He was arrested the following day and now faces the possibility of life in prison. Flathead Beacon reported that he is already serving a 10-year sentence on state charges of criminal endangerment for the same crime. The victim in this case was targeted by the defendant for no other reason than her sexual orientation when he fired bullets at her home while she was inside of it, said Jess Lasovich, U.S. Attorney for the District of Montana, in a statement. There will be zero tolerance by our office in prosecuting those who commit hate crimes against our fellow Montanans, as no one should have to live in fear of potentially deadly violence simply because of whom they love. And I tend to agree. Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark, who works for the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, said this hate crime and violent campaign targeting the LGBTQ community is a remainder of the epidemic of hate violence targeting people based on their sexual orientation. Now, here's the thing that I find fascinating, right? When it comes to the drag issues that we have in a lot of public schools, libraries, and bars, everybody talks about that. And when people reject that kind of stuff, they call that homophobia, right? When people are overly critiqued for things that they said or for misgendering somebody, they call that homophobia, right? Or hate against the LGBTQ community. But here, what we have is somebody who drove up, fired bullets into the home of a lesbian, went to a church and said that he was determined to kill all the LGBTQ people in the community. And if we're so concerned about protecting the LGBTQ community, my question is, I mean, this is an imminent threat. How come we're not hearing more about people targeting these people like this, who are doing actual violence, like shooting into their homes? Let me know why this is getting less publicity than, say, you know, DaBaby or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, all people have the right to feel safe in their homes and communities, regardless of who they love. And again, I agree with that. The Civil Rights Division will continue to work with our federal, state, and local partners to safeguard the civil rights of LGBTQ people affected by hate violence, hold perpetrators accountable, and ensure justice for victims of bias-motivated crimes. Now, as long as they do that for all people who are victims of bias-motivated crimes, especially Black people, seeing how we have the highest, that would be great. This isn't the first time Howell had trouble with the law. Court documents paint him as a violent, sadistic person with a tribal band with a Confederate flag tattoo on his left arm and a swastika tattoo on his left arm. So what they are not putting the emphasis on in this article here is that this guy is clearly an avid white supremacist. All right. And again, usually when it comes to these particular varieties of crimes, it is actual hardcore white supremacists who commit these kind of crimes. So this is probably another reason why this really hasn't been all over the news like that. In 2006, he was convicted on charges of animal cruelty, according to information in the Montana Department of Corrections database, after he shot a chocolate lab at a public campsite. An article from the Time says he pursued the wounded lab around the side of a trailer and then into trees and shot at it a number of times. Then came back to the campsite, got a chainsaw and severed the dog's head. So this guy is really sick. You know what I'm saying? Howell then allegedly drove to a campsite occupied by Mike and Brenna Sullivan of Butt and threw the severed head of their dog at them, saying, "Here is your effing dog back," the article said. He had to serve 24 months in prison for animal cruelty. In another incident, Howell threw a beer bottle at a child at a campground in Montana. The kid's father came to confront him and then turned to walk away when Howell allegedly shot his gun at the father without hitting him. The father said Howell was clearly intoxicated and also clearly a psychopath and also clearly a coward. You know what I'm saying? But now there's nowhere for him to run because what he has now is the possibility of getting convicted for a hate crime. But here's the question. Will they actually go through with this, or will they put it down to a misdemeanor so that he can be out free to terrorize somebody else again? I mean, you know, he not only has the complexion for protection, but he also has the tattoo of the WS crew. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Let me know if you guys heard about this. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers. Make sure that you're subbed up to all my channels, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right, peace.